All right. So, big project here. Gonna do a haunted house. Hopefully this is interesting to watch. Buckle in, because it's gonna be a long set of videos. And I'll get into it. Hope you enjoy. You might notice a couple new things about the haunted house now. There's a lot of purple. You got more purple tendrils, ghosts, bats. A couple things have happened. And unfortunately, I didn't record them because my camera died. We got ghosts on either side of the fence. We also have the tendrils coming out of the windows, and this left one here just going up onto the roof a bit. I've added quite a bit to it in terms of like purple highlights, which is probably the main thing I missed. Also the bats. I've kind of outlined them as well, and this goes for both of them, and I've added more tendrils on the roof. A couple of things have happened here, and it would have been great if my camera was on when I did it. But it wasn't. So now I have to explain the changes in this video and show a couple close-ups again. This is what happens when I don't charge my camera or check if I've charged my camera, because it died between takes, and I didn't realize it until I finished all of this. So hopefully I'll make sense of it throughout this video. Anyways, so we're going to do a dark brown here with this black and brown, and we're going to use a bit more red, maybe touch up parts of the house. To start mixing together this black and brown and painting this bottom layer, because this area I'm not as worried about, don't need fine details. The main focus is the haunted house, so we could just do long strokes here, just covering all of this bottom. You see I'm kind of trying to texture it with the brush just by jabbing it into the paint just to disturb it, so it's not like a flat smooth coat. Again, when this dries, it may not exactly look like that, but it should provide a cool look, or at least something a bit different. I still have a lot of dark earth color now, so I decided just to shift things around and gently jab like the corner around the grass area. Now, I'm just using the corner because I have all this paint on the big brush, and I don't want a large glob. Using the corner of the big brush allows me just to basically do what I would want with a smaller brush. I just didn't want to waste the paint on the brush, so I eventually did switch to a smaller brush, and you can see I just clashed the brushes together just to scrape paint off, because I don't like wasting paint, and the less that could dry in the brush, the better. So now I'm just going around finishing off the remaining paint on the larger brush and going in with the smaller one and using this dark brown just to cover anywhere that looks like a darker patch would be. Just showing areas where the ground has punctured the grass and the rocks as well. And now it's time to update you guys on the lost details of this project, the ones I failed to capture. First, we'll start with the bats, because this clip kind of, it doesn't matter why. We're wasting time. The biggest thing with the tendrils is that I've added a lighter purple to both the cone, the roof, and the wire tendril of the bats. So these splotches of purple is basically trying to represent like a swirling energy. There's going to be highlights and lowlights, and it's kind of hard to paint that on just a regular wire. So I figured I'd just put different coloring just to break up the base darker purple, just to try to give it like illusion that it's like a moving thing. So the remaining details of the bat is the inside, which is the cloudy texture, and the outer ridge. The idea is that the bat is still being generated by the tendrils, so I wanted to incorporate that purple low light feature from the other tendrils and the wires. The bat is still its own thing. I want it to look like a bat, so I wanted to leave black there. The idea is that the outline is like kind of that magical tendril energy, and inside is going to be like a black and gray mass that makes up like a bat. Like the bat is being generated by the tendrils, is what I imagined when I was painting this. So another detail that was missed in the footage was that we made magic circles and a magic door. Right now I'm putting down like the blood red, or it's a bit lighter than blood red, but that's the idea anyways. So getting into the fence ghosts. Not the fencing ghosts, but the fence ghosts. We have two ghosts, but we'll focus on one. Ghosts, I had a dark purple base coat that I painted over from the brown of the fence that it originally was. And then I had this kind of blended area where I'm kind of blending the ghost purple in with the original brown fence. This is just to kind of show that like the ghost is almost forming from the fence, so there's kind of like a transition area. So with all the purple and brown thrown into the ghost, I decided to put a purple metallic highlight, which I think turned out pretty nice. And that was over all sections: transition, main part of the ghost, just to again, make things pop. So, for things to be covered, or wait, for our footage hit list, we got bats, check. Inside stuff, check. Ghosts, they're also checked. So there's one thing left, the tendrils. So there's a lot of tendrils here. There's a lot going on, but they all follow the same principle. So you see here, there's a highlighted area. This is a metallic purple that I used. It does a really good job of catching the light. So diving into my tendril methodology, I have the darker base coat, which I took the base purple and darkened it with black paint. And that was what I've painted in previous videos, and that was kind of the outline, or the bottom part of the tendril. And then I took just the unmixed version of the paint, which ends up to be a bit more brighter, which is what I wanted, because I wanted a lighter purple, while a similar color but just lighter shade, to be like the middle part, just to give that depth feeling. And then I swapped to the metallic purple, which should be used very sparingly. You see here, I've only used it in little bits and pieces of the main tendril. Most of it is the two previous purples, because I don't want to overdo it with the shiny purple. It should only be used sparingly here. Like, I don't want to overdo it. So after my tendril spiel, going back to the main footage, back to the inside of it, and this is where I'm doing the magic door and the magic circles. And basically the door is going to be carved in blood. It's all going to be done in blood, which is why I wanted the red. Here the idea is that while the door doesn't physically exist, it's kind of been drawn there in blood by some, I don't know, magical ritual. Still have a lot of red paint, so I decided I'm going to throw a couple red eyes onto the bats. So with the bats, I'm just poking it with the brush, just very gently, a quick little dab, just to get like a nice round circle. So then I just move on, do the same technique with the other bat, just very carefully dabbing it. Sometimes it's easy to mess this up, and on the second one, you see that I did in fact mess it up. Because I shook my hand a bit and there was a streak on the bat, I did not get perfect dots. My hand moved a little bit. I tried to fix it with this clay tool, and then I decided, screw it. I'm just gonna make it like bloodied eyes. So I take the clay tool and I just scrape the paint downwards to kind of get this drip look. In comparison, you see the first bat, which is like perfectly round dots, and then the second bat starts with a round dot, but it's scraped down as if it's like dripping blood, or like a blood stain going down. So, you know what? Bit of difference. Kind of both look cool. So I'm happy to leave it like that. And then there we go. That part's done. But I still got two more videos to go to, or go through. Two more videos to go through. God.